Good afternoon everyone, I am Pragya Bhardwaj and I am going to present on the poem of Lyrical by Wordsworth. This poem was written by Wordsworth when he was leaving his cottage where he lived and was going to meet his lady love. Initially in the poem, he compares his cottage with a temple and says that while he will be away, heaven will be there to take care of it. This comparison with the temple and mentioning of the heaven there shows that he didn't just consider the place where he lived, rather he considered it to be a place he worships. He considered that place to be pious and reverent. And then he says that he has nothing with him, nothing materialistic, neither goods nor properties, nothing. The only thing he has is the experiences, the emotions, the feelings and the memories with the cottage and the garden. So he wishes that while he is away, the garden receives a good amount of sunshine and shower so that it can bloom well. He also personifies the garden wearing a saffron coat of marigold flowers which he brought from the mountains. He then says to the garden that he is leaving the cottage for 2 months, but he will be back soon as he is going to meet his lady love and marry her. And when he returns back, he will bring his lady love with him, and she will marry the garden too. This shows that he doesn't see himself and the garden to be two different things or entities. He sees that he himself and the garden are one as whole. He then says that as the garden is on a journey with the time and season, he says the garden to be a bit slow on its journey, so that while he is away, he doesn't miss out on cherishing the journey. He then says that he is then feeling very nervous and anxious and has thousands of questions with him because he is going to start his new journey of his life with his lady love, and has so many questions because he thinks if his lady love comes to this cottage and in this garden, will she feel as blessed as he feels? Will she feel the same as he feels? So he tells the garden to tell her to narrate the stories of the past, of the events they have, the joyful events. Tell the stories of the spring, because spring may be temporary, but the joys of the spring is forever. He then is very grateful towards the garden because it has provided him the shed while his industrious hour, while he was toiling hard planting and digging in the garden, and also he has spent most of his time in the garden writing and reading. So he is very grateful to the garden, and also at last he says that he is leaving the cottage, but he will be back soon with his lady love. Now we'll see the application of the theory of poetry by Wordsworth in this poem. First of all is the subject matter of the poetry. According to Wordsworth, the subject matter of the poetry should be of the humble and rustic background. So here we can see that which is relatable to the common man. So here we can see the poet has described about the feelings, the emotions one goes through in different stages of life, whether if he is leaving something behind and moving to his new journey in life, as he was going to meet his lady love and going to marry her. Similarly, a common man also goes through different stages in life, maybe moving to a different city, moving to a different place, starting his new life somewhere. So here we can see that common men can relate to it. Also the presence of the natural elements like mountains, valleys, river, plants and flowers shows that the background of humble and rustic life is shown here. Now there is diction. In diction, according to Wordsworth, the words used in the poetry should be of the daily conversation. It shouldn't be very elevated or ornamental. It should be easy comprehensible to the people. So in this we can see there's a bit of deviation because certain archaic words are used like thee, thou in this poem. And then is the style. According to Wordsworth, there should be no or less use of personification of the abstract ideas. Here personification is used in this poem, but it is not of the abstract ideas. Also, there should be no unusual or forceful use of figures of speech. In this poem, imagery is used, but it is not forceful. Rather, it makes the reader feel more connected towards the poem, as the reader feels that he is sitting or watching the garden, sitting in the garden or watching the garden. And then is the stages of poetry. First one is observation. As the poet has described about the minute details of the cottage and the garden and the plants, flowers, everything present there, so we can see that it has been closely observed. Then is the recollection. Here we can see that the poet has described about all the past events he has spent in the cottage and with the garden, so we can see that he has recollected all the past memories here. And then is the filtering. While writing out these in this poem, he must have gone through turmoil of emotions, but he has selectively chosen the one which were most important and presented in this poem. And the last one is composition. In composition, here we can see that the poet has brought all the ideas, style, language, everything on the paper in a very presentable form. So at last I would like to conclude that, as Wordsworth has said, that for all good poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. So in this poem also he has poured out all the emotions he has went through while going through the experiences of life. So it very well goes along with the definition of the poetry by him. So I think that in this poem, Wordsworth has very well managed to keep up with the ideas of theory of poetry. Thank you.
How will you relate Wordsworth's statement that a poet is a man speaking to men with this poem?
As a poet is a man speaking to men, it means that he is also a common man among those common men. So he should write, a poet should write a poem which is understood by the people too, which people can relate to. And in this poem we can see that all the emotions, all the feelings which he has shown in the poem is the feelings of the common man which they go through in their daily life. So I think it is applicable.
Another question. In the beginning you say that he is identical with garden and garden research. Now when you consider Wordsworth as a nature poet, what makes really a poet a nature poet? Simply because using images, various imagery from nature, does it mean that he is a nature poet?
No. If a poet is a nature poet, he should feel the nature. That should
What
be
is mean by this?
just describing about when we read that poem, we should understand, we should feel the same beauty as the poet is finding in the nature. Like if I am studying a poem, I am reading this poem, I should visualize that beauty of the nature as the poet is visualizing. If I feel that, that means that poet has tried to inculcate that.
Thank you.